feels good to be back on a Tuesday. I want to say greetings, good evening. How the hell are you? Welcome in to Beyond Ringside Back to Basics, where all topics are on the table and everything is on the record. Live from Studio One in beautiful Birmingham, Alabama, the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne on this side of the control panel. And I'd like to welcome in tag team partner for hour number one, normally tag team partner on Sunday night, but of course Beyond Ringside Live did not air this past week, so I kicked him in the ass and said, hey, come on over. Mark MaBo Bowman, what's up, buddy?
Okay, well, first of all, like you would ever have the balls to kick me in the ass.
I think I've done that once.
Second of all, the planets have aligned, the heavens have opened, and hell's frozen over because apparently the front office has allowed me back on more than just one show. I guess the ratings have dipped that low.
No, actually, this is the return for Tuesday night. We've been off since the first of the year. Been trying to get things back in line, but unfortunately, life gets in the way. First off, before we go any further, to everyone listening through .com, thank you very much. To everybody listening in through Shoutcast, Winamp, thank you. To everybody listening in through TuneIn Radio, especially Apple users, thank you very much. And to everybody who's been downloading the all-new Beyond Ringside Radio app, which is available for Android, BlackBerry, and Amazon devices, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. I have not given up the fight. Not in the least. We will find a way to get the app up on Apple, plain and simple. A lot of things going on this week. We've had a lot of birthdays, a lot of anniversaries, a lot of celebrations going on. But I will hold those for just a little while. Want to let everybody know and passing along the information. Good friend of the family, Phil Stamper, Nate Stein, going to be joining in right around the top of hour number 2 this evening. So definitely looking forward. Been a while since I've had a chance to talk to Phil. Going to get a chance to catch up, see what all's going on. And plus, I know one of the events that he is going to be bringing up. It's something near and dear to him, and that is going to be Combat Zone Wrestling, slated for this Saturday, the 21st, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Talk about one of the most honest crowds. Philly. Speaking of crowds, I'm looking forward to being in the crowd this coming Saturday in Atlanta, Georgia for Ring of Honor in Norcross, Georgia. Yours truly, along with the Hitman from Saturday mornings, along with Smart Rage from Wrestle Rage Radio, going to be representing Beyond Ringside over in Norcross at Ring of Honor. Ready to cut up, goof off, have a little bit of fun. Fifth row, yeah, I'm good with that. It's going to be a good show, and we're going to be covering a little bit more into that in just a little while. In the road to Fastlane, how much do they really expect to get done on this pay-per-view, free-per-view, network per-view? I don't know. Do we call it pay-per-view again since they're back available through conventional means on cable providers, Mark?
I don't really care. I mean, this is going to be a crap pay-per-view anyway, so whether I watch it for free, through the network, or whether I don't watch it all, it means jack squat to me.
Well,
I can put on better pay-per-views on a dadgum video game.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's something that people they're actually counting on to the front office to be able to see what everybody's doing in the online version of the game. Of course, Fastlane getting ready to roll out on the WWE Network and on traditional pay-per-view. 4 days, 22 hours, 53 minutes. It is this Sunday night, February 22nd. And I'm just, I hate to use the word throwaway pay-per-view because we are on the road to WrestleMania. And I know that they've got a lot. They really don't. I was going to say they've got a lot riding on this one, but I don't think they've banked a lot on this one. Agree or disagree?
It doesn't seem like it to me. I mean, it just seems like an epic fail of a pay-per-view. I mean, you got the slouching towards Bethlehem pay-per-view, or storyline with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. It just seems like an abomination. It just, I don't know, man. And then Roman Reigns trying to play a good guy, trying to play a bad. I guess he's a good guy, trying to play a bad guy, trying to play a good guy. I don't know. It's just horrible acting all around. And now that Daniel Bryan's wearing his hair the way he's wearing it and wearing them furry boots, it looks like somebody threw, Bruiser Brody in the washing machine. So, I mean, I don't even know what's going on. You got Triple H, selling to a fake, obviously fake Sting. It couldn't have been any more faker than Jeff Farmer.
True.
But I mean, I have Dustin doing whatever the hell Dustin, or not Dustin, what's his name? Cody. Don't call me Cody. Cody's dead, and you're dead. He'd feel funny if Dusty Rhodes died. If Dusty Rhodes dies in a week, I'm gonna freaking laugh. And I know it's not the nicest thing to say, but I'm gonna laugh because you just don't do. There's something you just don't say, scripted or not scripted. You just don't say it. But yeah, right now, right now the WWE has nothing to offer to me that I really give it, and it's bad to say because remember we used to have. It was called No Way Out, but you would have your Elimination Chamber pay-per-view going into No Way Out,
right?
Or going into, and then I think they did change it from No Way Out to Elimination Chamber itself. But you always had an Elimination Chamber or two, depending on how many belts there were at the time, going into Mania. You don't believe me? Playing any video games for the past 3 to 5 years, and then just little throwaway pay-per-view. Just not cutting it, man.
It doesn't seem to have the same drama going into it.
It really doesn't.
And this is something that
seems like a great big pile of poop to me.
Well, this is something that I never thought I'd really hear myself say, but WWE has not created enough drama going into this pay-per-view. Now, granted, we're used to Elimination Chamber. The last chance before Mania for anything to happen. And
I mean, literally where they could do a title change because, I mean, there were times where if the one brand was set up with the one Rumble winner, there was always the chance of, in an Elimination Chamber match for the opposing brand, their champion to the title switch.
yeah,
Or they would settle their number one contendership through that way, even that way.
right.
You might be, persons A, B, C, D, E, and F, and G, and H, and Q, and L,
BR
and they would fight in the chamber, and they would take on the champion at Mania.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we got the crappy 6-second title match between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, but still
18 seconds.
I thought it was shorter than. You sure it was shorter than that?
I think it was official at 18 seconds.
I thought it was a little bit less than that, but there's no point in splitting pairs. So,
taking a look over in the chat room. I thought you were at the end of a sentence. Sorry about that, dude. Real quick.
Go ahead. I was just going to say it makes no sense.
And for everybody listening, if you are online near a computer or anything of that ilk, I think it shows up properly on some tablets, not on most cell phones. Chat room is open this evening over at BeyondRingside.com. One-man crew popped in over there. Long time no see. Hoping everything's good. Also, the question was asked recently by Sudbury, and we are going to be opening up the phone lines on different shows throughout the course of the week. Back to Basics is going to be one of those shows, and when we come back next week, I'll get the date real quick. So obviously it's going to be February 24th. Starting on February the 24th, we are going to be opening up the phone lines here on Back to Basics. And also Back to Basics will have a brand new 800 number that people can call, as well as our 205 number. So everything is put into place. Like I said, we're definitely going to be making a little bit of shifting around. Back to Basics is opening up in more ways than one. So like I said, starting on February the 24th, telephone number 205-316-9900 will be active full scale, as well as a brand new 800, actually brand new toll-free number. It's going to be an 844 from what I remember. I've got all the paperwork. I just haven't, memorized everything yet. But a new toll-free number starting next Tuesday for Beyond Ringside Back to Basics. I have to ask this one. Triple H and Sting, with everything in place, And you made the reference to him selling to the fake Sting last week. And this week, of course, the showdown between, the anger between him and Ric Flair, and Triple H getting all up in arms about the factor of, Flair saying, don't underestimate Sting, don't sell him short, even after all this time. And I appreciate, to a degree, Triple H doing what WWE does best, completely and totally ignoring the fact that Sting did do something past WCW. Completely ignored TNA in everything. They have not referenced how many times Sting has held a world championship. They do say multi-time, former world champion, all of the above. They are not acknowledging anything with Impact or TNA in his timeline, which they never do.
Why would they? But why would they? I mean, they never did it for Christian. They never did it for Booker T. They never did it for Nash. They never did it for...
Booker T was... he didn't hold the world championship in TNA, did he?
Doesn't matter if they held the championship or not. I mean... they haven't done it for RVD or anybody else. So I mean, why acknowledge their run at all, regardless of whether they held the title or not? That would be the equivalent of like a McDonald's or a Burger King acknowledging what's that freaking place?
Checkers,
God,
Rallies.
No, not even like a Checkers or a Rallies.
Bob's Burger Barn.
Huh?
Bob's Burger Barn?
Yeah, sure, Bob's Burger Barn. I can't think of it. Hamburger Heaven.
Hamburger Heaven.
I'm trying to keep it local here for you people who are listening out of state. Hamburger Heaven. I can't complain. They got good burgers, but I mean that would be like I said, that'd be the somebody a big corporation acknowledging like a homegrown thing. Even though yes, some people would argue that TNA. I'm not going to say worldwide because. Yes, we can all admit WWE dominates globally. But if you want to say, if you want to talk about global domination behind WWE, you've still got New Japan. You've got, a couple of Mexican promotions. All Japan. I think All Japan's still around. So, there's some points to be argued globally. Now, United States, I would say TNA, they're second. But, Ring of Honor, I think if Ring of Honor could score a more prominent TV deal, then they could overtake. They could definitely overtake Impact, because Impact's not even doing weekly tapings anymore, and let's ignore the live aspect. Let's ignore that, because now they are roughly on the same taping schedule as Ring of Honor. TNA is. I mean, they're taping 3, 4, 5 weeks out. Plus TNA's taping the majority. They don't even do pay-per-views anymore. Well, they do pay-per-views, but they do these one not only take pay-per-views, they don't even have live pay-per-view revenue anymore. It all comes through, Destination America. And before that, when Spike had it, at least Ring of Honor is pumping out pay-per-views. So, I mean, Ring of Honor is on the heels of TNA, and all it would take would be a good, and I'm not trying to put down, who's got him? Who's got Ring of Honor?
Any other time. Sinclair.
I'm not trying to put down Sinclair Broadcasting Company, but here's the thing. Sinclair is not, they're not a network. Even though it's on the low end of the totem pole, or the high end of the cable box, however you want to look at it, Destination America is still a network, or it is owned by a network.
Well, it's a cable network.
But it's still owned by a network because it's a subsidiary of what is it, the National Geographic Network?
Discovery Channel.
Discovery.
Yeah.
Discovery. It's still a subsidiary of Discovery. Sinclair is not a network.
It's a cluster.
Well, I'm not going to say it's a cluster.
No. It's not a cluster. You know what? It is a broadcast cluster. They are a cluster of stations under one particular umbrella.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not everybody, not everybody gets Destination America. Not everybody gets, Sinclair Broadcast Networks.
And that is one of the... Go ahead.
But everybody, the majority of your cable providers carry... Actually, I think all of them, because it's become standard over the years, they carry Discover. Or the Discovery Network.
Discovery.
They might have the Discovery card. I don't know. I'm not in their wallets. I don't know what they have. But that's what I'm saying. I guarantee you, if Ring of Honor could... If they could get snagged, not even on FX, but FXX, if Ring of Honor could eventually, in the next, I'm going to say 3 to 5 years, I guarantee you, if they could get a solid network contract on either a solid, low end of the cable network, or even one of their subsidiaries, like an FXX, I promise you, Ring of Honor or TNA, done.
See, this is where I've got to take umbrage with that for one short second, due to the fact that in addition to I believe it is like 44 major markets or 44 markets in which Sinclair does have stations. They also, Ring of Honor and Sinclair have also set up licensing agreements, syndication agreements. That's why they're on, I believe it is Channel 36 WATL in Atlanta, which gives them access to a top 12 market, which of course they're going to be in this coming Saturday, which I'll cover that a little bit more in just a couple of minutes. But they also, Ring of Honor still has a very strong internet following, whether it be through traditional means or underground means, whether it be on YouTube or file sharing. People still keep track of what's going on with Ring of Honor. More so, and I dare say more so, on average than people did with TNA. Because during the second half or the latter part of the Hulk Hogan run with TNA Wrestling, people jumped ship in droves. They left the product. I know of a number of people who still haven't tuned back in, and a few who have finally started tuning back in. Because you know me, from the episode where they installed Kurt Angle as the director of wrestling operations, booker, whatever you want to call him, from that episode forward, they started to, and here's that phrase again, take it back to basics. Concentrate on the in-ring action. Give people credible storylines that people could wrap their heads around and their hearts around. Ring of Honor never stopped. They've been giving people solid action in every weight class and every style class from the get-go, even before the Sinclair deal. Because they've sold DVDs and video on demand, not to mention their live attendance has been steadily building even more. The best thing, actually, this may end up being the best thing for TNA, is the Spike deal. Because with the new look and the different feel of the show, granted, I'm not a huge fan of the factor of Matthews and Taz calling it from an undisclosed location, but it does happen that way. There are so many people who had given up, and it's like, I'll tune in today, they'll screw it up next week, why bother? And this is something that I've been telling people. Give it another chance. Check it out. If you've got Destination America, check it out. Now, news that broke this afternoon, if you'd like to take that one.
You go ahead.
With the split, or Samoa Joe left. He announced on his Twitter account that there has been a dissolution in the agreement, but of course news has been coming out over the last little while that his contract was up. He opted not to renew, and there's some people that don't blame him. There's some people that's like, dude, the BDC was actually a culpable storyline, and you and Low Key were on it. And I agree. But by the same token, I'm also going to sit back and say this does open up some brand new doors for Joe. With the viewership and the people who follow Chris Daniels and Kaz, who have come over to Ring of Honor after they left TNA, I think that if Joe were to make the move to start making appearances not only in the various indies around the country and across the world, but also to make the move to come back to Ring of Honor, I think that would increase ROH's viewership probably by about 1/8, because you've got a lot of people who sit back and follow Joe who don't watch Ring of Honor since he left. And if he comes back with ROH, yeah, you're going to have a lot, even more renewed interest in Ring of Honor's current product. Mark?
Oh, I mean, no doubt. But here's the thing. They've had past champions and past names come back for 1 or 2 shows. But it was great to see them back in their homegrown ring. But it's like they didn't really fit anymore, because that's the Ring of Honor of old. Case in point, Chris Hero. Now that might have been an agreement between Chris Hero and Ring of Honor. Because Hero does evolve and other indie promotions, and I don't know if he's got anything set up across the pond or anything, but another one would be who came back recently? He's still there, but he's not as prominent. Matt Sydal.
Yeah.
Alex Shelley. He came back.
I can't really count Shelley.
Why not?
Because Shelley spends more time over in New Japan than he does here domestically.
But still, he was one that they could have positioned if they wanted to do what I call pulling a TNA, and that's bringing in somebody else from a different company and pushing them to the moon, throwing the title on them, and scrapping your talent that's busted their butt for X amount of years already there.
There you go.
They could have done that on several occasions with several people. But Brian Kendrick, a lot of people know. Yes, sure, he was trained at Shawn Michaels, but he, Paul London, same way. They came in, did some stuff, but they never really looked for that top spot. And I mean, Jay Lethal did it. Remember he came back, but he stuck around, but they never really put the belt on him, and he actually earned, the various titles that he got. I don't think, with what's going on currently right now with the current crop. Now, I mean, I know there's, what they call the robots, the ROH fans. They call them robots. I'm sure they would love to see Joe Elgin. I mean, they would be freaking dousing their panties.
You wouldn't?
To see a Joe Elgin. I mean, I would like to see it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna be like, sitting there. Oh, that should be for the title. They should just take it off of Briscoe and just make it, for Elgin and Joe.
No. Keep the belt on Briscoe for as long as you can. I'm going to use that phrase. Briscoe is good for business.
He's earned it.
Yes.
He's earned it. But I mean, I think I'd hate to say they need to takerify Joe, only bring him in for special occasions. But it's really up to Joe. But I mean, I don't know Samoa Joe. I've met Samoa Joe on a couple occasions. Chill guy, very cool, very nice. Well, he doesn't seem like he'd be the one that'd be like, okay, I'm coming back. I want to be set up for a storyline title run. If I don't get a title run, at least main event me over your title. Joe don't seem like that kind of guy.
No.
Joe's there to wrestle. But I think more than likely what we're going to see is Joe's going to pop in from time to time. But I'm telling you, he is probably going to go. I guarantee you, the minute he tweeted what he tweeted, his phone probably started blowing up.
Oh yeah,
with offers, but not just local guys. No. I guarantee you, the minute he tweeted that, if not before, because there's always somebody standing over your shoulder and you don't even know it. I guarantee you, the minute he hit tweet. The minute he hit tweet, that nanosecond it takes to process and display, his phone probably rang, and I guarantee you it was New Japan, All Japan, some of the groups over in England. I guarantee you, New Japan probably reached out to him so quick.
Yep.
And he can go over and make bank. He can go do a couple tours and not have to worry about anything for almost a year.
There was a lot of speculation, and I've been watching Twitter in particular. There's been a lot of speculation as to whether or not Triple H would reach out to him.
Here's the thing. They've already got one fat guy down in NXT. They've already got Dan Sawyer Jr. down there.
Oh, not even funny.
Hey, look, Mad Dog. He
continue.
I think he laughed. I'm not sure what that noise was he made when I said that, but when I said, is he going to sue NXT and WWE for Kevin Owens stealing his look? Like I said, I wasn't sure if it was a laugh or not. It was like, I don't know. Might have been a gas bubble. He might have sat on his keys. I don't know. But
continue.
It's. I mean, I saw somebody. Obviously, you see all the tweets and the armchair bookers and everything. They're like, I can't wait because we need Samoa Joe in NXT. No, you don't. Because unlike a Kevin Owens / Steen, Zayn, all those guys, Joe has already been on TV for years. Sure, Steen, Zayn, Generico, what do you want? A couple of those guys, even Cesaro. Yes, they were on Ring of Honor television, but that's when it was, it was right around when Sinclair picked it up, and then when it was on, what did it used to be on before Sinclair bought it?
I don't remember.
Like MAV TV or something? Like
Fox Sports Northwest Loco or some crap like that?
Anyway, it was one of those where not everybody got it.
Right.
And so, but it wasn't like a nationally televised network like an Impact. Like, if they're going to bring in Joe, he might do 1-2 live events in NXT, if even that. But if they do bring in Joe, he's going straight to the main roster. That's if. Let me tell you right now, I don't think Joe's style blended with Impact because TNA and Impact, whatever you want to call them, they were still technically wrestling, but they were a good hodgepodge. I don't mean hodgepodge in a bad way. They were a good hodgepodge, a good smorgasbord, a good, I don't know, some other funny name that makes, that basically says it's a good mixture of different styles and everything. You don't really have those different styles in the WWE because all you have the WWE style. It's its own style. Now, you might have WWE's version of Lucha, or you might have WWE's version of Catch, or, so on and so forth. But it's WWE's version. And I just, as much as I love Joe, and anybody who knows me knows I am a huge Samoa Joe fan. Huge Samoa Joe fan. I have been since his California days when he tried to dye his hair blonde on the top and he was wearing pajama pants. He does not have, I don't see him, I don't see them being able to mix his style into the main roster. And I don't see anybody. If Kurt was back in WWE, yeah. Boom, right there. That's money. That is a license to print money. If Kurt came back and you could bring in Joe,
yeah.
WWE would be pooping out just stacks of money. Just stacks of money.
Well, do me a favor, stack it for one short second. I need to go ahead and do this. Folks, as we're getting ready to head to the bottom of the hour break, I want to let everybody know for our friends up in Louisville, Kentucky, Ohio Valley Wrestling, weather permitting tomorrow night, Wednesday, February the 18th, of course, at 4400 Shepherdsville Road. Thank you. It's Chase, wherever you are, that's for you, dude. 7 p.m. start time. Wednesday, February the 18th, Rockstar Pro Wrestling in Dayton, Ohio at the Rockstar Arena, 1106 East 3rd Street. Check out rockstarprowrestling.com. Also, Wednesday, February the 18th, All-Star Wrestling at Baths Hall in Scunthorpe in the UK. Don't have a start time. Check your local listings for time and channel or time and venue. They'll give you the correct address. Also, this coming Friday, February the 20th, weather permitting, See, for a lot of us in the Eastern...
Hold on. That seriously needs to be... That's some. I think maybe some group might have already jumped on that, but somebody needs to seriously run a card in the winter months and call it
weather permitting. I like that idea. Reason why I say Friday, because we're expected to get some inclement weather in our little corner of the neighborhood to match what everybody else has been getting up and down the east. So I got that word earlier today. But weather permitting, Friday, February the 20th, Pro South Wrestling, 627 Southern Avenue in Piedmont, Alabama, 7 p.m. bell time. Check them out on Facebook. Empire Wrestling Federation, VFW Post 8070, located at 250 East 1st Street, Azusa, California, 8 p.m. bell time. Also on Friday the 20th, Championship Wrestling Entertainment, Port St. Lucie Community Center, 9221 Civic Center Place, Port St. Lucie, Florida, 8 p.m. start time. Going to be running down a lot more information on a lot more events, but first we're going to hit that bottom of the hour break, and we'll be back on Back to Basics right after this.
Hey everyone, this is the voice Ted Guinness, and I am proud to announce that I will be returning to the Beyond Ringside Radio Network Thursday, March 5th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, right after Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network with The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to WWE, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, plus your phone calls. That's all coming up Thursday, March 5th, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Runner, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Coming to you live on this 17th day of February 2015, 25 before the top of the hour. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside, back to basics on this Tuesday thing. Fast Eddie Layne live in Studio 1. And from hashtag Gerbil Jesus Central, Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, dude? In about 20...
Man, I'm always, if I don't give a pithy or, unusual answer to Eddie's bringing me back in, it means 9 times out of 10 I found a couple of headlines that I'm reading in hopes to bring up to the topics in the show, which I never get to do because Wicked and Eddie have to run the whole show and they never let me talk until I say, hey, I want to talk about something, and then it's too late. They're like, why didn't you bring it up? I was like, well, you talk too much and then the show's over.
Well,
and then we never do a show on Sunday and I never get to talk about it. So there
you go. And actually something
now, before Eddie continues, I'm going to go ahead and get this in.
Okay.
Giggity. That's the name of my sex tape. I'm going to get this in. Apparently, I don't know if it's going to be a dark match in between main event and SmackDown tapings, but word is, we all know Sin Cara is already on the main roster, but Kalisto was with him, and they took on Slater and Curtis Axel, so there's a good chance we could be seeing the Lucha Dragons on the main roster, as a team very soon, which means more money for WWE because they'll be able to market the Kalisto mask and the Lucha Dragon shirt, and I guarantee you they will come up with some kind of foam fingers. But although they're very similar to the Daniel Bryan fingers, but so you could sit there and point your fingers in the air, kind of alternatingly, as opposed to the Daniel Bryan both at the same time, and go Lucha, Lucha, Lucha.
And, of course, they never did come up with an Emma, did they?
Huh?
They never did come up with an Emma finger, did they?
Oh, the hand? I wish they would have.
So for Daniel
I'm
Bryan, you
telling
get. So for Daniel Bryan and Lucha Dragons, you get a finger. For Emma, you get the whole hand, right?
I'm sure he can get the whole hand for Emma. Oh!
Now.
Well, hold on. But also another NXT guy that okay, I was misinformed. Yes, the Lucha Dragons, but it was not the dark match in between main event and SmackDown. Lucha Dragons actually worked the main event taping. Bull Dempsey took on Fandango in between the two shows, and he lost to Fandango, which I just find horribly unbelievable
and horribly wrong.
Huh?
And horribly wrong.
Yeah, for a guy who's supposed to be a monster, but I mean, does this mean they're gonna? Do you think they'll shoot Bull up over other people? Because here's the thing. To me, if they hotshot a rookie only after so long, straight to the main event, to me, I don't think they. It's like they're almost looking like a quick fix. But like the longer they stay in NXT before they bring them up, I think that's because they're really, really grooming them. Like Baron Corbin, I guarantee you, they are going to put everything they can behind Baron Corbin and getting him ready, because I think they're going to try to push him as their next big monster.
Okay.
I'm not saying like Roman Reigns. You know, he's not really a monster, but not taking the name away from Lesnar, but you know how they've really put Roman Reigns as Superman, as a beast.
Right.
I guarantee you, a year from now, 2 years from now, 2 years tops, they are going to be marketing and pushing Baron Corbin as their huge beast. Bank on it.
Speaking of marketing,
he's got that beast. He's got that beast. He's got that beast down. Can't cut a promo for crap. And he kind of suffers from Goldberg syndrome, to where they've only had him doing, because you know the big shtick was the crowd counted in seconds how long it took him to defeat an opponent. His longest match was against Adrian Neville during the tournament for the number one contendership. And then he lost by disqualification. So he's never been pinned, but he lost by disqualification or countout or something when Bull Dempsey interfered. But they actually went, a decent amount of time. I caught some of the match. Baron didn't look. He didn't look like Goldberg the first time. They made Goldberg go over X amount with Regal, but he's got. If they're going to put him in some, 10 to 15 minute matches, he's got a little bit ways to go. But I guarantee you, 2 years tops from now, minimum 2 years tops from now, they're pushing Corbin as their beast, or as their Superman, so to speak.
Is that you taking a breath?
No, if it lasts more than 3 seconds, then it's not a breath. I'm done.
There you go. Awkward positioning.
By the way, that's the name of my sex tape. It takes longer than 3 seconds.
I was going to say that would be the title, Awkward Positioning.
I was in that movie once.
However, now, you did make a reference. There were some things you wanted to bring up on the Tonight Show, or on tonight's episode of Back to Basics, not on the Tonight Show.
I was on the Tonight Show?
There you go.
I was like, when was that? I hate Jimmy Fallon. How did I end up on the Tonight Show?
Shoot, I like Fallon. I think he's done a remarkable job. I'm not saying he's the second coming of Johnny Carson. I'm saying he's the first coming of Jimmy Fallon, and that Jimmy Fallon has done a really good job. I've enjoyed
I don't know, it's just, hey, you know what? People love Fallon, and I mean, there's some things that he does, but he just, I don't know. It's like he's that kid that tries too hard.
Sometimes he does. Now,
sorry, go ahead.
One of the things that I know that you said you wanted to bring up was a recent development in Chikara Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
They've recently had a draft of sorts.
Yes. Gavin forgot to close the window, and as you know, the Arctic air came through.
Ass!
So everybody in the studio...
Get with the program!
For what Edward is alluding to...
Thank you.
I believe it was Friday. The director of Fun, Lightning Mike Quackenbush, made an announcement that there was going to be something new coming to Chikara. For those of you who are familiar with Chikara, you know they love their tournaments, and you know their different styles of matches. But this is something never really heard of, and he said it was going to be called Clash of the Immortals, not to be confused with WWE's weird tappy fighting game, The Immortals, because I guarantee you this is way better. But no, to me it was almost a little bit lethal lottery. A whole lot of AWA's, what was that thing called, Eddie?
Super Clash?
AWA did? No. What was the thing they did towards the end?
It's been a while, dude. I don't remember.
When they couldn't draw money with a green crayon.
There you go.
Team challenge.
Okay.
If any of you guys over the age of 30 out there listening, whether it be through the app, through the home website, or in our podcast, which will be up and loaded later on, the AWA, towards the end of their run, had what was called the Team Challenge, where there was 14 captains. They drafted, what would you say, it was like 5 to 6 guys per team?
Okay.
And they competed. You don't remember this?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Been a while. And they competed in various matches for points. I remember Baron von Raschke was on a team. He was a team captain. And God, I used to know all of them. I used to know all the team captains. Anyway, they had everything from the infamous, I believe there was a frozen turkey on a pole match. There was the empty arena match. Mainly it was the empty arena match because there was nobody there. There was literally nobody paid to come see the show. There was I think it was behind the 8-ball match. It involved a big, giant, inflatable ball that was painted black like an 8-ball. There was a big pink, there was in a room that was like Pepto-Bismol pink. I don't know. It was one of the... It would definitely be in the wrestle crap annals, if you will, of pro wrestling. This is it's not going to be anywhere near. A whopping 10 team captains stepped up, and then last night, live on the Twitters, Mike Quackenbush hosted a live draft where each team captain had to pick 3 additional team members, and they're going to be competing through the rest of the season in the Clash of the Immortals. Now, basically what's going to happen, if I'm remembering, let me see if I can pull this up real quick, the explanation. But roughly each team is going to have the opportunity to face the other teams twice. Now, they could choose, each team captain has to agree. Now, they could choose to face them in a singles, in a tag team, in a trios, or in I can never pronounce it, Revolamos, Atomicos. It's a 4-on-4. It's just a 4-on-4. And so...
And you pick on me for over-pronunciating.
Well, I can't ever Relevos.
Say it again.
Somebody look that up on Relevos.
Relevos.
Somebody looked it up on Wikipedia.
Oh, damn.
What?
Address all complaint letters to
1116 Springs Avenue, Birmingham, Alabama 35242.
Go away.
Care. Send me your complaint.
Continue.
Anyway, so let's say Team A and Team C meet up, okay? And they agree their first match is a traditional tag team match, 2-on-2. Well, the next time Team A and Team C meet up, because keep in mind, each team is going to meet, all the other teams twice. They cannot choose a tag team. So, since they are in their first meeting, Group A and Group C met, they did the tag team. Well, now the second meeting, it's either going to be a singles, a trios, or the Volvamos Atomicos. So, and each win is worth 1 point.
Right.
Losses doesn't count against you. No big deal. While this is going on, any points will not be awarded, nor will you lose your points you've already accrued if you are in a singles or a tag match. So anybody that's got the 3 points, 2 points, or even 1 point for the Campeonatos de Parejas, if they lose, they're not going to lose them. Because as you know, if you have points and you lose, you got to start back to square one. Same thing with the Grand Championship. But at the end, the team with the most points gets what is called a golden opportunity. The golden opportunity, and that's for each team member, not just, each member will have a chance for golden opportunity, which means they can choose to go after the tag titles. They can choose to go after the Grand Championship without even having to have points. You can say, let's say, one of the team captains is Halloween. We'll cover the teams here in a second, and I know Eddie wants to get through with this because we got 10 minutes. But let's say Halloween's team wins. Each one of those, Halloween, his three partners, each get a golden opportunity. So if Halloween wants to choose, if he wants to go after the Grand Championship, he can. If he wants to use his golden opportunity to team up with Frightmare to go after the Campeonatos, he can. And the only other time that's been done is with Johnny Gargano for the Young Lions Cup against Frightmare. So there you go. It's a little convoluted. It's not really too convoluted. I just make things convoluted. That's how I am. But if you want to check out, for a little bit more details on everything, you could check out ChikaraPro.com. You could check out Chikara over on Facebook. You can check them out on Twitter. Chikara, I think Chikara 101's still up. Go check them out. It's a fan page or fan message board. Also, the group #IamChikara over on Facebook. Go check them out. Always got some Chikara information in there. But on to the teams, if we have time, Eddie.
Hurry.
Do we have time, Eddie?
Yeah, if you run them fast.
I'm trying, but it's got to load. Hold on.
You can.
Okay. Basically, here goes. Now, keep in mind, it's going to be. I'm going to read it'll be the team captain first, and then their first, second, and third round draft picks. So I'll make it easy. All right? Here we go. Team captain number 1 from Devastation Corporation, Max Smashmaster. He chose his tag team partner, Blaster McMassive, O'Barian of the Batiri, and Oleg the Usurper from the Wrecking Crew. Now, little side note to that, Sidney Bacabella, the manager of everybody in the Wrecking Crew, kept running his mouth and saying all this all through the draft. Well, you'll find out a little bit later what happens. Somebody drafted a member of the Wrecking Crew. Bacabella didn't like it. There was no trade backsies, at least not yet. Bacabella ended up having to go to the hospital because he was having heart palpitations.
There you go.
So, yeah. If anybody remembers King of Trios this year, or last year, 2014 King of Trios, there was the Golden Trio. The Campeonatos, which was Angela Setti, Dasher Hatfield, and Icarus. Everybody, they were nicknamed the Golden Trios. Well, sadly, even though Hatfield and Touchdown don't have the belts anymore, they've still teamed up with Icarus, and they've added as their tag team partner Heidi Lovelace, the Young Lions Cup champion, and they're being dubbed the Golden Atomicos. So that's Dasher Hatfield. He chose Mr. Touchdown, Icarus, and then Heidi Lovelace. Ultra Madness Black, team captain number 3, chose Kodama Flex Rumble Crunch from Devastation Corporation. That's what sent old Bacabella to the hospital. And then to add insult to injury, took the other Wrecking Crew member, Jaka. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Chuck Taylor was team captain number 4, and he kept it simple. He chose what he knew. He brought in his buddies from the Gentleman's Club, Drew Gulak, Orange Cassidy, and Swamp Monster. Hallowicked, which if you've been following anything, Hallowicked we covered this later about how Wicked's gone all wackadoo crazy for some reason, and he's actually told Mantis, he's like, you pick anybody for your team, it's not their fate is going to be on your head. So it's, I think there's going to be some hits put out, but how Wicked chose Frightmare, Silver Ant, and bringing back in old Chikara stalwart Blind Rage, back from I think he was the first or second class. Following in the footsteps of Chuck Taylor, Jakob Hademeyer, Captain to what he knows, chose all BDK members in Soldier Ant, Knockin', and Pinky Sanchez. Amasis of this year in Portal picked Fire Ant, Worker Ant, and Smooth Sailing Ashley Remington.
Right.
Sleepy booger in my eye. Amasis, his tag team partner, Ophidian, also stepped up as the captain and chose the War King, Eddie Kingston, Shinron, and the new, I'm going to say it's going to be the new standout rookie. I'm putting my money on him. This is going to be his year. A gentleman by the name of Argus. My second favorite tag team, actually it's my first favorite tag team, but don't let Princess Kimberly know that.
She may be listening.
Let's hope not. And if she's not, nobody say anything. My tag team to win it all, the Coronado Coalition. Juan Francisco de Coronado, and he's chosen Mr. Azerbaijan, Prakash Sabar, and the Proletariat Boar of Moldova, which means he pretty much picked up the Block Party. He picked up the remnants of the Block Party. I want this team to win so bad, especially because of Mr. Azerbaijan. And then finally, the final team, the 10th team, Princess Kimberly, chose Jervis Cottonbelly, El Hijo del Ice Cream, and Ice Cream Jr., the team I have affectionately dubbed the world's sweetest team. So that's your 10 teams for Clash of the Immortals 2015. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Hopefully when all is said and done, I encourage you to buy every Chikara DVD out there, if you can. But kind of like they did with the 12 Large Summit, the tournament that crowned the first grand champion, the tournament that was in honor of Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney, they put all of those matches on one DVD. I would love it if the guys at Smart Mark or whomever's filming this, I would love it if for those of us so we don't have to, buy every DVD because that's really costly or costive.
Now,
I don't know.
Do me a favor. If my notes are correct, that would mean that the Colony Extreme Force, NRG, Kevin Condren, Snow Troll, Volgar, and 3.0 were not drafted.
No, they were not. You are correct, sir. They were not.
Well, I think you MaBo.
Eddie's correct. They were not drafted. So, but go ahead.
There is still one more day for the captains to make revisions or trades. Now, that doesn't...
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't know if that means I don't know if that means they can boot somebody out and bring in somebody who wasn't drafted, or if it is to be kept inside the draft realm and trade back and forth.
See, once again, that is where it's kind of weird and odd. But remember, like I said, and if you go to Chikara's YouTube page, you can watch the video. Hallow Wicked, he put out a video. I think he put out his video Friday because I was at work. So that means Quack put out his Thursday. Hallow Wicked told Ultra Mantis, or it might have been the same day actually, he will take out his team. Anybody that joins his team, he's going to take them out. And Hallow Wicked actually spoke. It wasn't the gibberish that we know Hallow Wicked to speak.
Right.
The incoherence, if you will. So, if, Kodama, Rumble Crunch, or Jaka, if any of those guys get taken out by, Hallow Wicked or Frightmare, Mantis still has a pool to choose from. And honestly, if you've got 3.0, and especially, everybody loves Big Magic, but, if you still got 3.0, still got part of the Colony Extreme Force, heck, even NRG, they're new to the scene, but I expect big things from them. Actually, I'm going to work on trying to get one, if not both of them, on the show soon. So So there's still a pool if anything happens. If anybody gets hurt, there's still a chance. There's still that small backup pool.
Right.
To choose from. I personally was hoping Steve the Turtle Weiner would have got picked. Draft Turtle, hashtag. But it didn't happen. So this is an interesting concept. Chikara, always bringing you new, interesting, and fun ways to experience pro wrestling.
And they've got a number of dates coming up in the very near future. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
March 7th and March 8th. March 7th, Gibsonville, North Carolina. March 8th,
that's where Clash will start.
Okay. March 8th, Norfolk, Virginia. April 3rd, Wolverhampton, England, UK. April 4th, also Wolverhampton, or Wolverhampton, depending on how it's said. I'm going to probably get chewed out by Daryl B, especially for this one. Peer Pressure, April 5th, Cardiff, Wales. And Afternoon Delight on April 6th in London. So they've got a nice little UK run coming up there, and I'm very happy that they're able to make that run. I wish they'd come back to Birmingham. I wish they'd come near Birmingham, but that's just me. If I win the lottery, I'm going to find a way to get Chikara down here in force.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm serious. I will get the Pelham Civic. I'll get the Pelham Civic Complex. If I win the lottery, you have my word on that. I'll get them down here.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. If I win the lottery, not only are they, depending on how much I get at the time, not only are they going to get booked, they're going to get paid well, and they're going to get put up in some decent dig.
Accommodations, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But we are at the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and take it home on this part. For more information, be sure to check out ChikaraPro.com. Also, Chikara Special over on Twitter does have the full listing of all 10 teams. Also from there, you've got a number of the different stars, the team captains, who have their own individual accounts and can give you a little bit more insight as to why they picked who they picked. So that's definitely going to be one.
Oh, definitely. I agree with Eddie. And like I said, they have a YouTube page. Check it out for up-to-minute videos and updates. Definitely check out the Chikara Podcast to Go-Go, hosted by our good friend Gavin Loudspeaker. If you can't ever find it on the YouTube page, just follow Chikara over on Facebook. They always post the videos on their page. And check out Chikara in 15 minutes with Babs, Babs of Chikara. It's a great podcast. Check it out. It's usually under 15 minutes. She never really goes over 15 minutes. But she keeps you up to date, what's happening, what's going on, and also puts out there any place that Chikara talent might be showing up that's not in Chikara, in a Chikara ring, whether it be working a show, signing autographs, or even appearing, for like radio interviews. I know when we had Oleg the Usurper, she was kind enough to put it out there and the links and everything, so for people to listen to it. So go check her out. You can find her in the iTunes store, or even look for her on Twitter and on Facebook. Yeah, she's on Twitter and Facebook. So check it out. Babs of Chikara. Chikara in 15 minutes.
Sounds like a plan. Any shameless plugs you want to throw out there real quick?
The one to my lamp. The one to the oven.
We're over.
No, we'll never be over.
As in time, that is.
Oh, I was about to say, we'll be about as over as Chief Thunderhorse.
Damn. MaBo, always a pleasure. Folks, hang with us. We're going to the top of the hour break when Back to Basics returns. Going to be joined by the Phenom Phil Stamper right here. Hang with us. We'll be right back.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find a Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Hey, this is Stuart Couch from the Cause and Effect Thursday Night Throwdown. Catch us here every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Yo, what's up? It's Coolio with the Flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet, and you locked in to Beyond Ringside. Ding, ding.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Awesome Austin Creed, the smartest man in this industry called pro wrestling, the valedictorian of this business. You are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne.
And I'm the Cause, Robert Cosper.
And this is your invitation to join us
and the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock, right here for the Saturday Showcase.
At Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10, 9, 8 a.m. Pacific time. See? We do math around this place. Be sure to catch us right here on BeyondRingside.com. You can also listen through Winamp for Android and BlackBerry, as well as the Shoutcast mobile app for Apple as well. Remember, that's Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And let me tell you how you can find the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock on social media. It's very easy. It's at www.kissmyass.
Whoa. Stop that right there. Folks, we'll see you Saturday on the Showcase. Bye for now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Behrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside. And you are a better person for it. Trust me.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is Bob Allen, co-author of Gordon Soley's Something Left Behind and the Soley Chronicles, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
I'm Bobby Ches, a three-time world champion, Showtime expert analyst for more than 10 years. You're locked in to the On Ringside.
Hey, everyone. My name is Bryce Remsburg. I'm the Chikara senior official, and wherever I am in the world, be it on the phone or the internet, there's no place I'd rather be than locked in to Beyond Ringside.
9 minutes after the top of the hour, welcome back into Beyond Ringside. Back to basics on this Tuesday night, 17th day of February. Live from Studio 1 in beautiful Birmingham, Alabama. Fast Eddie Layne behind the control panel. Want to take a very special moment once again to say thank you to everybody who has been downloading and listening to all the programming here on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio through the all-new Beyond Ringside app, which is available for Android, for Amazon devices, and BlackBerry devices. We have not given up the fight, but for all Apple users, we are asking, please check out TuneIn Radio app, available through iTunes, available on your store. And when you install it, look us up, Beyond Ringside Radio. It is just that easy. And if I have any more breaking information about the Apple side of the app, trust me, I will be online so fast. You'll sit back and say...
That sounds like a really bad kinky line. I'm sorry. The Apple side of the gap. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm good. Pull it back in.
Longtime friends and family, you will know the voice under many different guises. And we're gonna put a hold on the game show side of everything for a minute, even though a lot of people are going to sit back and say, yeah, he's going to say it sooner or later. No, I'm going to wait. Phil Stamper, how you doing tonight, my friend?
Phil Stamper, come on down.
That works.
Is that what you're waiting for? Is that the game show line?
No, we were going to bring back the classic one.
Oh.
It would.
You know what? What just came into my brain was sale of the century for some reason, and I don't think there was a catch line there, which is probably why they're no longer on the show or on the air.
Well, we could always turn around and say, nope, it's Phil of Fortune.
Phil of Fortune. I like that, actually.
Thank you.
Phil of Fortune. Wow.
That one actually hit me about 5 seconds before I called you during the last break. It's like, let's see. We've actually done the Price is Right reference where we've done Phil Stamper Come On Down. Of course, you had Phil or No Phil, which just stuck in my brain like no tomorrow. And it's like, what other game shows? You can't get away with saying Pressure Phil. That just sounds like a really bad sex tape.
I got it. The password is Phil Stemper.
Works wonders.
That's really bad.
There's so many different game shows we could have so much fun. I kind of like Phil of Fortune. We're going to work on that.
What?
And what we would need to do is find somebody that would actually be the human needle that we could spin around. We'll work on that concept. We really will. It has been a while. First off, how's the weather in your little corner of paradise?
Well, I live in Maryland, and my little corner of paradise got 8 inches of snow last night, and temperatures have been staying below freezing, so it's been cold. We also got hit before the snowstorm with a massive, I guess you would call it just a windstorm. No weather per se, like no precipitation, but just really heavy winds that drove the temperatures down. Like the wind chill was like negative 15 or something crazy.
Sure.
And actually froze pipes in my house. Yay.
Hopefully nothing burst.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Fortunately, I rent, so other people are taking care of it.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, I'm going to get heat from everybody in my little corner of paradise down here in Birmingham, Alabama, when I sit back and say I'm actually jealous to a great degree as far as the snow itself goes, because we have been teased by our local weather forecasters in every phase when they'll bring up the S word. And I think down here in Alabama, they've got a little deal set up with the local food vendors. So anytime sales start to slack off, we're expecting snow. There goes the milk and bread and ice cream.
Right. And this winter, the word that people in the D.C. area hate to hear is the phrase, I should say, is the rain snow line. That basically there is this imaginary line that near follows 66 in Virginia until it hits D.C., and then 95 when it goes from D.C. to Baltimore, and everything to the north and west of that line gets snow, and everything to the south and east of that does not. Typically, traditionally. This storm, the opposite happened. The heavier totals came to the south and east, so it sort of spun everybody backwards.
Yeah, we've gotten drizzle, we've gotten rain, we've gotten high winds, we've gotten no snow. And if you're going to have winter climate in place, go ahead. Forget the drizzle, forget the rain. Just give me a little bit of snow and let it get on out of here. That way it'll be done. I'm good. But I would like to say for everybody who has been going through all this, especially in the northeastern U.S., my God, the Massachusetts area and all surrounding areas that have been hit 3 different times, my heart goes out to everybody up in the northeastern section of the U.S. I was going to say sector, but I don't want to get started on the FEMA discussion and controversy and the conspiracy theories, but something of which we have no conspiracy in place, and I'm very glad to hear that. You've been staying busy all the way across the board, correct?
I have been, of course, and to be candid, we were having a little bit of a conversation offline. I'm always looking for something else and something additional to add on to my schedule, even though I am gallivanting across, at least the eastern seaboard quite often.
Now, you're affiliated with a number of different companies, including AIWF, including Combat Zone, and which other ones are you still working with full-time or part-time, too?
Well, Combat Zone is also affiliated with Women's SuperStars Uncensored, so there's them. There is Rockstar Pro out of Dayton, Ohio. There is Infinity Pro out of Bloomington, Indiana. Of course, there is AIWF Mid-Atlantic, which is now running at 3 different venues between Virginia, Princeton, West Virginia, and Mount Airy, North Carolina.
Okay.
Talking with a couple other places right now, and I don't want to say anything yet until things happen, because, it's wrestling, and if you say things then don't tend to happen, so...
Now, in addition to your schedule, which includes both, out in front of the cameras, in front of the crowds, and behind the scenes, because you do a lot of marketing and promotion, pulling back that little part of the curtain just a little bit, you've also been tremendous about a upcoming events calendar and list of upcoming shows.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and do the let's go. I'm going to ask you to do it again before I let you run, but I'm going to go and ask you to pop that shameless plug real quick. If people want
Which one? Because now I'm... Is it that bad that I'm sort of sitting here going, oh no, he's saying shameless plug, but which one does he mean?
For every promoter across the lower 48 and around the world, if they want to send their information to you.
If they would like to send me something, you can send it through my Twitter at PS Phenom, that's PSPHENOM, or email Nate Stein at Nate_Stein@hotmail.com. No, you do not spell the word underscore. It is Nate underscore, like the symbol, STEIN @hotmail.com.
Have you actually had somebody try to spell underscore?
I will say at another email account that I have a number in it, and somebody was like, oh, so I have to... I tried to send it to you, but I couldn't. You said one, right? And I was like, wait a minute, are you writing the word one? Or are you putting, like, the number one? She goes, oh, I actually wrote out the number one.
Oh, shoot.
Like, are you kidding? Like, just like that, and then the digit one.
Let's just go ahead and call it. No. We're not going to do that. We're not going to draw heat. No. As much no, we're not going to mention any names. Although that would be funny as hell.
There's so many things I can go right now.
Exactly.
I don't even know what you're talking about. And so part of me is like, so if I go in one direction and you go in another direction, we're going to out like 3 people at one time.
We'll probably, yeah, really. If you start in one direction, I start in the other direction, we'll meet somewhere around Brisbane. Either that or Melbourne.
Yes. I could do a nice southern trip right now.
Oh, amen. Australia sounds great this time of year.
Right.
And actually, if it weren't for the fact that I've got something going on down here in the southeastern U.S. this weekend, and I don't know how the flights out of Atlanta would be getting up to Philadelphia. Dude, place I would love to be this coming Saturday, February the 21st, the combined show for WSU and Combat Zone.
That's right. We're coming back to the world-famous, well, now it's called 2300 Arena, but of course you might know it as the ECW Arena. You might know it as Viking Hall or the Asylum Arena. It has gone through some name changes. It is now called 2300 Arena. It is at 2300 South Swanson Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And Combat Zone and WSU are making their return to the world-famous arena in Philadelphia.
And both of these cards... Now, I'm trying to remember, because I don't have it in front of me. What anniversary is this for WSU? What number would this be?
For WSU, I had the number. And then in the magic of the world of professional wrestling, do you see my hands, how they're shimmering and distracting you from telling you details? In the magic of wrestling, we're modifying the anniversary slightly by like 1 month, and I have lost track of the year. I want to say this is WSU's 8th anniversary.
Okay. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. DJ won't shoot us too hard.
DJ, what can he do?
Probably run faster than both of us combined.
No, I can run faster than DJ, so I have every confidence that I can get out of his way.
And then I'll go ahead and give you my line of the millennium. Yes, I can probably outrun him too. I go from 0 to chicken in 0.3 seconds.
The thing is you have to learn about DJ is that he's been concussed so many times, he's very easily distracted. So you have to basically go, oh, look, a puppy, and run the other direction.
Great. You just gave me the Sheen from Jimmy Neutron. Ooh, mosquito.
Yes.
Now, in addition to WSU's, we're gonna stick with 8th. The anniversary show this coming Saturday, Combat Zone, 16th anniversary.
Yes.
Incredible.
It is. I mean, you hear a lot about wrestling companies, and sometimes wrestling companies' lifespans are not that long. And people go through hiatuses and all sorts of craziness. And Combat Zone Wrestling has basically been running at least, if not more than, once a month for years and years and years. I mean, just in this last year alone, Combat Zone Wrestling has been to England and Germany and Japan and had events in New York and Ohio and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So and Delaware, I guess I should say, of course, tournament event.
There you go.
Tickets are already are coming up for sale. So, things are out there for Combat Zone Wrestling, and they are everywhere.
Now, for this coming Saturday, is this going to be treated as two separate events, or is this going to be one ticket for all?
It depends on what you want, because some people will only come for one or the other. So, if you go through, pulling back the curtain a little bit, and this is not me, thinking poorly of anybody, it's just sort of the reality of the situation. 2300 Arena has revamped itself.
Okay.
It is, and they are taking control of events that run in their building. So now they manage ticket sales that happen in their building. So when we moved to going to the arena, we do currently have our own in-house ticket system. So we basically honored all of those pre-orders and put them into their system. So now you have to go through the 2300 Arena site to purchase tickets. If you go to czwrestling.com, all the links will be there for which the individual specific events, WSU and CZW. They would not post a combo ticket just because of something that was weird in their system.
Okay.
But if you call them, they will do a combo ticket for you.
Oh.
So if you go through online, you can only do either WSU or either CZW, but if you call, they will do a combo ticket for a little bit of a discount.
Very nice piece of information to have, too. Now, let's go and take a look, if I could, please. The event for WSU, the anniversary show.
Let's see. So for the WSU World Championship match, we have champion LuFisto, the international phenomenon herself, versus another international phenomenon, Shauna. And who has not met Shauna? She is both gorgeous and deadly. Did I say deadly and deadly? I'm sorry. She's both gorgeous and deadly from Portugal. She is an amazing superstar, and this is going to be a very heated contest.
That is one that I'm looking forward to. I have kept better track of LuFisto than I have of Shauna, but I understand what's some of the stuff that's been going on as they're heading for this championship match this coming Saturday. So I've got all the high hopes in the world that this is going to be one that this is probably going to be worth the price of admission by itself.
I agree, and LuFisto. So ever since management at WSU has been put into the hands of Sassy Stephanie has really gone out of her way to do anything she can to keep LuFisto down. I am knowing that this is going to be a good match, but also knowing that somewhere waiting in the wings is Sassy Stephanie, waiting to just extract some further, or extend some more of her further managerial skills to show that she should really be in control of the company. And I think she's going to do something to LuFisto to rile her up a little bit.
Now, this is an interesting circumstance, and I need to be brought up to speed on this one because I haven't seen the entire scenario unfold. But for the WSU Tag Team Championships, you've got the Juicy Product taking on Antisocial and Kimberly.
Now, and remember, WSU is Women's SuperStars Uncensored.
Exactly.
And the WSU Tag Team Champions are the Juicy Product, who are David Starr and JT Dunn.
Right.
With managed to Rick Catalpa, by the way.
Okay.
And so, a few months ago, David Starr, JT Dunn, getting a little too big for the britches, came into WSU unannounced and just sort of said, hey, look at all these fancy belts that we've been carrying. At the time, they were the CZW Tag Champions, they were the FIP Tag Champions, they had all these titles, all these different promotions, and they're like, hey, we're going to add another one to our experience, to our resume, and the chicks using nasty tactics, otherwise known as Antisocial and Kimberly. Yes, if you are smart enough to figure out what chicks using nasty tactics. Okay, just making sure we're there.
Apostrophe S.
They weren't going to back away from the challenge from anybody, regardless of it being the Juicy Product. They accepted the challenge. Juicy Product walked away the winners. The last WSU event, it was a one-on-one opportunity where Kimberly and Antisocial faced off against JT Dunn and David Starr in one-on-one matches, and Kimberly and Annie Social won. So therefore, now that they have earned their title opportunity once again at WSU, they're going full head of steam directly at the Juicy Product. But the Juicy Product have also retained some support in the person that they call the only true diva in WSU, Rick Catalda.
Okay. I've got this on the brain that I want to put out there. I have followed Annie Social for a while. I've followed Kimber for a while, Kimberly. Mm-hmm. And first off, I've got to say it like this, and I say it because I want to, not because I have to. Annie is a badass. Plain and simple. Oh, yeah. I've watched her in ring. She will back down from no one at any time whatsoever. She will go full force, and anybody who gets in her way when she gets her mindset on something is just going to get mowed down. And that's the nice way to put it. Kimber, a lot of people make the very, very fatal mistake of underestimating her. And that is something that if the product does that this weekend, they will probably be in for a very rude awakening, regardless. So with the combination, chicks using nasty tactics, '*S, this is going to be a solid matchup tag team. And I think the Juicy Product may be in, like I said, they're in for a world of hurt all the way across the board, brother.
Absolutely. Then, of course, we have the WSU Spirit Championship match between champion Nia Barella and challenger, a member of Ohio is for Killers, Nevaeh.
You know, I still mispronounce that every once in a while, and I apologize for that.
Well, it's okay because I honestly am personally guilty of quite often misspelling Nia, so I will cover you by saying Nevaeh correctly.
Okay. Now, what brought us up to this point for the Spirit title?
Well, once again, Nevaeh has been sort of put down by ownership the management of WSU again and again and again, and she's been really rallying for an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? It's Nevaeh's time. It's time that you pay a little bit more attention to what I can do in a ring. She is coming back off an injury, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing her back in a ring. At the same time, Nia knows that she has been injured, so she's not a slouch, and she's going to target Nevaeh's injury.
Also featured this Saturday at WSU Anniversary, the Howling Huntress. Correct me on the pronunciation because I've done it 3 different ways. I'm going to say Hanaya.
Yes.
I got something right tonight. I go to the next round. Ding, 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 ding. I'll take case number 23. Taking on Athena.
This is also the first ever women's tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Very nice. I've watched Athena in various I'm going to use that T word, territories or areas around the country. I've seen her down to the Lone Star State. I've seen her up in the Northeast. I've seen her a little bit further south than I am right now. And she's working to build a great body of work, the same way that Hanaya has, the Howling Huntress. And this is in a TLC environment, anything goes and anything can happen. This one's definitely going to. I'm going to say don't blink.
You're right.
Because either individual is capable of anything at any time. And like I said, you put 2 tried and true professionals in a TLC environment, it's going to get fun. And you are not going to want to blink for a half second because you are going to miss something if you do.
Absolutely. Well, if you're talking about seeing people in other areas and you also being from Alabama, I don't know if you have had the personal pleasure and privilege of ever seeing Tessa Blanchard.
Have not met her in person. I've seen different videos, but I haven't seen her in person yet.
Okay. Tessa is a top-notch quality talent, and when I say that excuse me, when I say that places of northern ascent are perhaps watching very closely things at WSU and CZW, I think it would be an understatement to say that Tessa, of course, would be one of those people that is being looked at. I mean, Tessa Blanchard, and if you can't guess the wrestling heritage that she comes from,
oh, that's a pedigree.
I'm sorry that you do it.
That's a pedigree.
Right. Tessa is an amazing talent, and she's going off against, well, we talked about her a little bit, being the management of WSU, Sassy Stephanie. I think Stephanie is trying to showcase, well, you know what? Just because now I've been put in control of things at WSU, that doesn't mean I'm a slouch in the ring, and she's going to try to take it to Tessa Blanchard.
That's really good. Now, who all is Stephanie surrounded herself with at this point? Because I've noticed that there has been a little bit of a conglomeration in place in her office.
The thing with Sassy Stephanie, wow, why am I getting tongue-tied? The thing with Sassy Stephanie is that, how do I put this? You never really know who is at her side. She has aligned herself with people so often that you never know from one second to the next who is she going to be with. And that's what makes her dangerous, because not only is she in control of WSU, she can turn to somebody else in the roster and say, guess what? I need you by my side here tonight. And it will more than likely happen.
Okay.
So I will definitely say that Sassy Stephanie will have an entourage with her at WSU.
You are listening to Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics, 25 before the top of the hour on this 17th day of February. Fast Eddie Layne live in studio and out playing in the snow this evening. Fortunately, it's a powdery drift. Good friend, the Phenom Phil Stamper, we're on right now. A little bit of a discussion about the upcoming double bill, the Deadly Doubleheader. This Saturday, February the 21st in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the 2300 Arena, WSU Anniversary Show, Combat Zone Wrestling Anniversary Show on the horizon. One of the matches taking place this coming Saturday, Cherry Bomb taking on Leva Bates.
And again, two phenomenal talents that the world of wrestling will definitely be paying close attention to.
And we're going to, I hate to do it like this, but let's go ahead and slide through. Brittany Blake taking on Jenny Rose.
You know, Brittany still is trying to find her footing a little bit in the world of wrestling, and especially at WSU. And I think, though not to be underestimated, I think she's going to have a big challenge in Jenny Rose.
Also making an appearance this weekend, one-on-one match, Solo Darling taking on Mickey Knuckles.
The interesting thing is, you know, us going back to 2300 Arena, a lot of people have said, you know, we want to come back into the fold of WXU, and we were reaching out to a lot of people. And I think if you look at WSU and you look at CZW, there's kind of a theme that you will see developing. I mean, this is, the WSU side itself is having the first ever women's TLC match. Well, if you want to have this underscore of being on the top of your game and being a physically intense competitor, look no further than Mickey Knuckles. And Solo Darling is a darling. She is amazing, but she's going to have a very tough hill to climb against Mickey Knuckles.
And also the WSU Hall of Fame induction, Primetime Amy Lee.
There's hardly anything I can say. Primetime Amy Lee, such a deserving opportunity and entrant into the WSU Hall of Fame. For those of you who have not followed her historic career, because it is. I mean, she was in USWA with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. I mean, that is the beginning of her career. And she's only gone on from there. So this is going to be a great entrant into the WSU Hall of Fame.
On the flip side of the bill, which you can never say it like that, even though I just did. DJ, please forgive me. Combat Zone Wrestling 16th anniversary, one part of the Deadly Doubleheader this coming Saturday. I'm going to go ahead and let's take a look at some of the matches that are going to be taking place. Robbie Moreno taking on Ruckus.
No.
I apologize.
You're looking at the graphic. I know what you just did. They are not competing against each other.
No, it is go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hall of Fame induction ceremony,
yes. Entrance into the CZW Hall of Fame, Robbie Moreno and Ruckus.
Yes, I just noticed that. That's my fault. I apologize because I was looking originally. I got distracted because a good friend of the family and someone with whom I was scrolling down, and it's like, cool. Bulldozer's there. No, in other words, I got distracted by Matt Tremont for a hot second. Good friend of the family, good friend of the show. I've worked with him on a number of occasions, and I get down and it's like I'm going match. No. And I'm opening my mouth to talk, and it's like, oh crap, no, this isn't a match. This clearly says Hall of Fame, ding dong. My fault. I apologize.
But now Robbie Moreno and Ruckus have a very long history with Combat Zone Wrestling. I want to come back to them as we go on. So let's keep going through the card, but I want you to keep in mind the Hall of Fame inductees, Robbie Moreno and Ruckus.
One-on-one matchup. Greg Excellent taking on Alexander James.
Alexander James, he is the honorary CZW Cruiserweight champion. He sort of has given himself that title. Now, whether or not he's going to put his honorary championship on the line against Greg Excellent, who, by the way, at about 340 pounds, is a former CZW Cruiserweight champion. That's right, 340 pounds, former CZW Cruiserweight champion, will be going off against Alexander James. I am looking forward to this match. This will be rather fun and entertaining. At the expense of I personally believe it will be at the expense of Alexander James.
6-man tables match. Team Tremendous, Dan Barry and Bill Carr, align themselves with Dick Justice, and they face off against the Beaver Boys and Rex Lawless.
This rivalry has now been going on for a few months at Combat Zone Wrestling. And if you go to CZW's YouTube channel at youtube.com/CZW News, you can see sort of what has been transpiring behind the scenes between these two. These two teams are going to explode, and this time they're going to explode through tables.
I'd be afraid to see how many tables are going to bite the dust at this show.
I think there's going to be quite expensive tables that are going to bite the dust.
Do I have time to buy stock in Home Depot, or is there one close enough? Do I need to buy stock in Lowe's?
Actually, Staples now is the place to go.
Oh, crap. Good. Hey, wait, I have a card there. I can actually get points.
See, we know how to shop. We got it down to a science. And especially if you go in Delaware where there's no state tax. But we also have two best-of-the-best qualifying matches. We have Pepper Parks, who will be aligned, of course, with this beautiful Cherry Bomb, taking off against the maybe not the most famous person in the world, Bucks Belmar.
Okay. Now,
Bucks is crazy.
Now, let me go ahead and do this one. Let's jump ahead a little bit for those who don't really follow Combat Zone on more than a passive level. Let everybody know what we're talking about on a best of the best qualifier. I know, you know, but there may be people out there that don't know. So if you would pass that along.
So come this April, and I apologize that off the top of my head, I can't remember what annual number we're at this point with the best of the best.
That's okay.
14. We're at best of the best 14. On April 11th will be best of the best 14. It is an annual tournament of some of the best talents in the world of professional wrestling on a technical level. There's some of the best high flyers, there's some of the best technicians, there's some of the best ground-based guys, and this is an opportunity to go into that tournament to face off against some of the best in the world. And we have two qualifying matches at the anniversary event, Pepper Parks versus Bucks Belmar, and then we also have former CZW World Heavyweight Champion Sozio taking on Joey Janela.
And like I said, that's just going to be, like we've said, that's just two of the matches. As future shows approach, as we get closer to best of the best, there will be more qualifying matches. So as people, if you don't get a chance to catch this one, which guaranteed, you're going to want to catch this show. Now, let's go ahead and break tradition for a second. iPay-per-view is available on this one, right?
Oh, yeah. Available for both WSU and CZW.
Okay. Now, it's still czwippv.com, right?
No, it is streamczw.com.
See?
Streamczw.com, and you can watch both WSU and CZW, and our past events there as well.
Very nice. Coming back over to the 16th anniversary show, good friend of the family, the Bulldozer, Matt Tremont, in an ultraviolet rules match, taking on Stockade.
I'm already stumbling over words. If you want to talk about an intense, crazy matchup. You have Matt Tremont and Sackade. I can't even put into words the level of violence that this match is going to have in it.
Look, I'm going to lay this one out there. I have worked with the Bulldozer before. Tremendous talent. I've seen Stockade before. I haven't had a chance to work with him in person. I know what the Bulldozer is capable of. And let the truth be told. You put Tremont anywhere near in the same area code for an opportunity for him to show an ultra-violent side. And this is something that I'm going to lay out there for everybody. There are people who genuinely know me and know the fact that I appreciate a quality hardcore / ultra-violent match. Weapons match, however you want to put it. One of the reasons why I back Tremont 7 days a week, twice on Saturdays, is because A, I know he is a trained pro wrestler and very accomplished at it. But he also has that dark side and the affinity for the ultraviolent. He works well in both environments. What I have seen of Stockade works well in both environments. This match, Ultraviolent Rules, this coming Saturday as part of the Combat Zone CZW 16. I'm just Combat Zone Wrestling 16. I started to say it full term and I stopped myself. Why? I don't freaking know. I apologize for that.
And kind of sidebarring for just a moment.
Go ahead.
So, as I look at our site, I see that something is actually missing from our event page, something that is actually kind of a big deal. The other match that is not listed on our event page that is happening is a classic ultra-violent encounter. We have not put out who will be in that match. I will say it'll harken back to the past of the violence that Combat Zone Wrestling has been known for, but it will be a very special ultra-violent encounter added onto CZW this coming Saturday.
And also something that is not on the website itself, but is also in my notes, is a matchup for the Wired TV Championship.
You're absolutely right. You have current Wired Television champion Joe Gacy defending against Speedball Mike Bailey. Two tremendous competitors. Joe Gacy, if I had to put the title of most improved in CZW on somebody right now, Joe Gacy would be the person I would put that title on. If I had to look at the person who is turning more and more heads at CZW, I have to look at Speedball Mike Bailey. This is going to be an epic clash, and I think it's a match that people are not going to see coming, and I think it's going to blow people's minds.
Two more matches I definitely want to hit on. CZW World Tag Team Championships will be on the line this coming Saturday in Philadelphia. Ohio is for Killers taking on the Young Bucks.
Again, another epic encounter, the opportunity to have the Young Bucks who are world-traveled, world-famous, and when you talk about independent wrestling, to say that they're world-famous, that's a very hard feat to accomplish. These are guys who have turned down, actually both teams have turned down WWE contract opportunities multiple times, so to have them at Combat Zone Wrestling live on iPay-per-view, it's going to blow everybody's minds.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. For those who follow another company, and if you don't mind, I'm going to just go ahead and say it, Ring of Honor. They were a part of a 6-man tag on ROH TV this past week. So for those who have not had a chance, for those who are just now finding out about the Jackson Brothers, if you missed that episode of ROH TV, don't miss the iPay-per-view this coming Saturday. It won't be a 6-man. It'll be a tag team championship match. And if there is a team that rises to the occasion in a championship match, it is the Young Bucks. But I'm also going to say this. Ohio is for Killers. They got a lot on the line against, and I'm going to sit back and say this. Both tag teams decorated. Both tag teams well-respected. Both tag teams ready for war this Saturday at the anniversary show.
And if you think about it, Ohio is for Killers is where, the Young Bucks are where Ohio is for Killers used to be a few years ago.
Agreed.
The only change is now they are more experienced, and they are the ones holding the CZW World Tag Team Championship.
Now, also, I'll let you take this one straight up across the board, sir, for the CZW World Heavyweight Championship.
You have CZW World Heavyweight Champion Black G's versus the Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson. If as you talk about ultra violence in CZW and hard hitting action in CZW, I look at this match, and again, I think this is another match that is going to blow people away. This match is going to be ridiculously hard hitting, and Black G's, I mean, in the past, Black G's didn't take crap from anybody, and now that he's the CZW World Heavyweight Champion, he isn't taking it from anybody at all. At all. It's only making him that much more deadly. Sozio, at the end of their match last month, well, he found himself hanging on the side of the ring from a noose for his troubles. So Chris Dickinson needs to be on his A game, but Dickinson himself is no slouch and will try to tear through Black G's.
And you said you wanted to come back to this one, so I will open that door. The Hall of Fame has 2 brand new members this Saturday in the form of Ruckus and Robbie Moreno.
Well, I just wanted to put out there, of course, Robbie Moreno and Ruckus, storied history in Combat Zone Wrestling, but they're 2 of the 3 founding members of the most dominant stable in Combat Zone Wrestling that has ever existed, and that is Blackout. The current champion is Black G's. In my mind, I have to put in there somewhere where there'll be some kind of interaction between Robbie Moreno and Ruckus and Black G's. I think Black G's is very much, hey, I don't need anybody to have my back. At the same time, the history of Black G's, or excuse me, of Blackout, I just have this feeling that you're going to see some kind of connection between Ruckus, Robbie Moreno, and Black G's when it comes to Saturday night.
Real quick, tickets for the Combat Zone side.
Also available at the 2300 Arena. They are available at, I'm trying to make sure that I give the correct address. Yes, it is 2300arena.com. Again, that's 2300arena.com. And, of course, we have our iPay-per-view stream, which is available at streamczw.com. You can find all of this out on our website at czwrestling.com. And now, if I can, I want to address one more quick thing about CZW.
Come on in.
So we also do have and have announced that Tim Donst will also be in action, and I'm going to go ahead and put it out there because it's very public right now. It's on his Facebook. Tim Donst has been in the hospital for 4 days. Of course, we're in conversation with him. Of course, he wants to compete. Of course, we want to have him. Everybody on all sides wants to make sure that he's in good enough shape to come into a ring. So, yes, we're still saying that he is coming at this time, but we're all very aware that he is dealing with a medical situation that we are waiting on. So, no one's at fault. It's a thing that happened. Cards subject to change. But we really do hope that Tim Donst is able to join us for the anniversary.
Hopefully so. For our friends in the northeastern U.S., once again, perfect opportunity to get out and about. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. For everybody who wants to sit back and hold that remote control and go, huh? Put it down. Put it down. Just put it down. If you want to watch it on a computer because you're too far away to catch the show live, that's fine. That's a beautiful thing. Because I tell everybody, you have an opportunity to genuinely support good pro wrestling. You got 2 great shows on one day. Check.
And going back to the arena, the historic arena in Philadelphia, the one that ECW made famous, the ECW arena, the CZW arena, Viking Hall, the Asylum Arena, 2300 Arena, whatever you know it as, it's an amazing opportunity. It's going to be energy like you've never felt with a promotion that is so known for its hard-hitting action. But if I may for a moment, I'm going to use this to segue that you are absolutely right. If you are a wrestling fan and you are looking at WWE and going, I miss the wrestling, I miss seeing something that's more athletic, if you would rather pay your $9.99 a month to watch NXT than get well, I know you have to buy cable, but to then watch Raw, then you need to be checking out some of the better, great promotions that exist out there. Places like WSU and CZW, and places like, maybe in the Midwest on this Saturday as well, in Bloomington, Indiana, Infinity Pro Wrestling, a promotion that has been turning heads with almost sold-out crowds. Their last event, about 350 people, and they also have an event this coming Saturday at the National Guard Armory in Bloomington, Indiana. And I want you to check them out if you are in the Indiana, Louisville, Indianapolis, Illinois area. That's a promotion that you should be paying a lot of attention to, because they are. I hate to say that independent promotions have competition. I hate to say it like that, but really they are sort of the game in Indiana right now. They are sort of the game in some of the surrounding area right now, just because there isn't anybody that can bring in a house that has developed the quality of production and storyline like Infinity Pro has. And they have seen their attendance figures continue to rise and rise and rise because they've put so much effort into it. For their Grand Championship, they have a Fatal 4-Way. They have their champion, JT Vega, who is defending in a 4-way match against Micah Silva, Jake Omen, and Austin Mannix.
Right.
For their Duos Championship, in other places they might call it a tag title, for their Duos Championship, it's Jake and Donnie Hollows, the Painkillers, against the debuting Zero Gravity. One match that I'm looking forward to, and I'm kind of linking this back to that Tremont a little bit, and I'm winking and nodding and blinking at things right now that I hope people will, in the ether, come to understand as I'm going to say this. This is a match that I'm looking very much forward to at Infinity. It's a Falls Count Anywhere match between the Deathmatch Prince himself, Josh Crane, and Trip Cassidy. These two guys used to be best friends. Josh still wants to be friends with Trip. Trip has aligned himself with the Jason Saint and has kind of gone off the rails a little bit. So this is continuing the rivalry that has happened between Josh and Trip. Hopefully this will finally settle their disputes and their disagreements that they've been having. Maybe it'll allow Josh to kick a hole through Trip's head, or, well, if he's not careful, Trip may lay Josh out in this Falls Count Anywhere match. There's a grudge match between Bret Havoc and Scott Young. Isaiah, for those of you who know Midwest wrestling and had never heard of this guy before, which I couldn't believe if you've been following independent wrestling in the Midwest, is that you've never heard of Isaiah. Isaiah makes his return to Infinity Pro, going off against Jack Thriller.
Now, you made
much action. Okay.
You made a reference to the Duos Championship. Now,
yes.
Jacob and Donnie Hollows, Painkillers, they've been on a great run with the Duos Championship. But the team that they're going to be facing, Zero Gravity, I hope I pronounce his name right. I've heard it and I blanked. Brett Gakaya and CJ Esparza. These guys have been making waves. Go ahead.
I'm giving that to you. That was good.
Thank you. These guys have been making waves. And I've been watching on different shows where these two... I think I just lost Skype. Bear with me for a second. Phil, you there? Tell you what, do me a favor. Give me 1 second. We're going to take a very brief commercial break for the top of the hour. Be right back in just a minute. Back to Basics rolls on right after this.
Hey everyone, this is the voice Ted Guinness, and I am proud to announce that I will be returning to the Beyond Ringside Radio Network Thursday, March 5th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, right after Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network with The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to WWE, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, plus your phone calls. That's all coming up Thursday, March 5th, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
Hey everyone, this is the Cause, Robert Cosper, host of Cause and Effects Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. This is your invitation to join me, along with the Effects Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and all of the craziness that is C&E, right here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's wrestling radio with a twist, and some might just say with a twist of lime when the bar is open. Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for Wrestle Rage Radio, right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained, and along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at Wrestle Rage.
And welcome back in. 1 minute before the top of the hour. Things worked out. Welcome back into Back to Basics live on this Tuesday night, 17th day of February. Fast Eddie Layne being rejoined. We got him back on the line. Phil Stamper, welcome back, sir.
Thank you, sir. What did I do? What did I piss you off?
No.
Did I irk you?
No. I thought your phone just died.
Yeah, sure. Blame me.
No, I didn't blame you. I blamed the phone. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I blamed the phone. I didn't blame you. I also blame your cell carrier, whichever one it might be.
That's right.
It's okay. I'm on Skype. I drop a call once every 5.5 miles, and sometimes 5.5 feet. I love Sprint, but by the same token, it happens. Before the phone system fell apart, real quick, I was making a reference to Brett and CJ for some of the shows that they've been working on. They've been taking on tag teams like the Young Bucks and the Addiction, and they're not afraid to put it out there. So I'm going to sit back and say, for anybody who really, this is going to be a great tag team matchup by two teams that have honed their craft and are working to restore the faith in the fans of tag team wrestling and duos, for the duos championship.
Absolutely. Just all over, the quality of the talent on the Infinity event is great. The amount of energy that you get from that crowd, from the talented people who are going to be inside of that ring, it hits you in a way that's like, it makes you feel like this is why you want to be a part of wrestling. It just keeps you so energized, and these guys do an amazing job at that. And they have an amazing production, and they have an amazing talent. It's just so great to see a promotion that knows how to build a crowd, that knows how to build their talent up, that knows how to tell a story, and to get people so hooked into it that when they come back the next month, they're bringing friends with them.
And we're talking right now about Infinity Pro Wrestling, where they're going to have Infinity Pro 16, Legacy of a Champion, this coming Saturday, 4 days from now, at the National Guard Armory, 3380 South Walnut Street in Bloomington, Indiana. Did you have a chance to catch the Aero Division number one contenders match?
Oh, I did forget that one. I am so sorry. Those guys do have every right to kill me now. So... to name a number one contender to the Arrows title. So this is a very interesting match for me, because these are guys these aren't nobodies. These aren't guys that are just like, well, we're just waiting for our opportunity. These are guys who have made a claim. These are guys who have every skill set in the book to hold whatever title in any promotion that they walk into, but now are in a situation where there needs to be one number one contender. And so there's going to be a 5-way fray, if I can say that again without stumbling, a 5-way fray to name the number one contender for the Arrows division title between Adam Bueller, Chase Matthews, who will have in his corner the Jason Saint, Dale Patrick, Percy Davis, and Mad Dragon Hakeem Zane. It's going to be...
That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. And so many different skill sets in this match. There are guys who are hard hitters. There's guys who are great technicians. There are guys who are great flyers. There's guys who are going to punch people's teeth out in this match. This is going to be intense.
How can people get tickets for this show?
Certainly there's going to be tickets available at the doors, but they can also buy them online at infinitypro.bigcartel.com. Again, that's infinitypro.bigcartel.com.
And what else you got on the? You've got any other shows that you want to make a special reference to?
A couple other things that are coming up. We're a few weeks away from them, but I'll go ahead and just plug the dates. On Friday, Friday, March 6th, we have Rockstar Pro with their iPay-per-view. They're another tremendously amazing promotion that has been building up their crowd time and time again, putting on a better event than the one they did before. Rockstar in Dayton, Ohio at 1106 East 3rd Street in Dayton, Ohio, is blowing people away. Check them out, rockstarprowrestling.com. You can see their past events, and you can also order their next iPay-per-view that will happen on Friday, May 6th. Already announced for there is, of course, now my computer wants to have a little bit of a heartache as I try to pull up anything on here, because I have the worst internet in the world. Thank you, Xfinity. As they have already announced for their iPay-per-view, it is going to be the Bulldozer, Matt Tremont, versus the Pitbull Danger. And a lot of these names are going to be familiar to you. They also have Jake Christ, the Rockstar Pro Champion.
Right.
Aaron Williams, Alex Colon, DJ Hyde, and many more will be in competition on Friday, March 6th.
Very cool. And you said that's Rockstar Pro?
That is Rockstar Pro, and check them out at rockstarprowrestling.com. And then on Saturday night, all the way down in Princeton, West Virginia, at the Princeton Recreation Center, AIWF Mid-Atlantic, and let's just say maybe there might be Phil Stamper in the future for the good people of Princeton, West Virginia, and I use the term good people loosely. It is West Virginia. I'm sorry. It's Princeton, West Virginia. I mean, there's a reason why they call it, by God, West Virginia.
Very true. Very true. I'll drink to that. What's that reason?
But then again, you're in Alabama, so I don't know if I can say much more. Oh, I mean, hi. My only experience in the state of Alabama, I had a layover on a flight in Huntsville, and we weren't allowed to leave the terminal, and the only food that was available in this terminal for like 7 hours was a place that had gumbo.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
How did you end up going to the Huntsville Regional Airport?
I thought I was, I don't know. I don't know. It was a major commercial flight, and not the largest airport, I didn't feel. And I was like, so this is Huntsville.
It's not. And go figure, that's where the Space and Rocket Center is. NASA has a facility in Huntsville.
Well, when you can get land cheap.
Of course. That's what I said. I live here, and I will say that.
Oh.
And I have plenty of... Now, okay, going back babyface for one hot second. I do have plenty of great friends up in the Huntsville, Athens, Florence, Muscle Shoals area. And they know I'm telling the truth. It's a small airport.
And I do have a lot of friends out in Gadsden, Alabama, which I think is, an hour from Huntsville?
That, and it's about an hour from me. About an hour 10 from where I am right now.
Okay. Like the original Real Icarus, not the one that some other promotions in the Northeast think they have, but the Real Icarus. I can't remember the guy's name. I feel so bad because he was like the Hurricane, but I can't remember his name now. I can remember a name I can't say, but I can't remember his gimmick name. That's so horrible. And Cabana Man Dan.
Oh yeah.
Justin Overstreet, though he's often in Alabama, is more frequent out of
Tennessee,
Panama City, Florida.
Oh, okay.
But I know he's up in Alabama quite often. He's also the AIWF World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh, so we got the title back.
Go ahead, I'm sorry?
He got the title back.
Yes, he did. He did.
I remember the AIWF Super Show up in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Had an opportunity, stayed up there for about 1/3 of the show. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say 1/3 is because we'd already planned to spend 3 hours there. The show ended up going 9. I'm not kidding.
I know that event went crazy.
Yes.
I know that event, everybody wanted to showcase what they had to bring to the table for AIWF. Right. And people came from very far distances to showcase what they had to do as a networking opportunity to please a crowd. I don't know, in 9 hours. I do know that there were a lot of matches on that event.
Well, I remember when we had, and folks, hang with us for a second. We're talking about we're talking on air but off air at the same time. When we had Matt Classic, the executive director for AIWF, at that time, and I believe still is, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. He made the statement that there was going to be a tag team gauntlet match featuring 32 tag teams.
I also didn't know that was the amount of teams that got in.
Yes. But I will say this. There were some great competitors coming in from all across the area. I mean, you had people representing Kansas, Missouri. You had people representing Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, and even further west. You had teams coming in, and, we had a chance to sit down and talk with, like, Team Certified Sexy, the House of Pain, KC Wolves, had different members of different factions and groups on with us. We did an on-location taping. Unfortunately, because of the circumstance, we couldn't do a live broadcast like we wanted to, but, we had fun doing that. Oh, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. The other,
and the thing with the AWF is it is very much, people will probably equate it to, well, it's following the quote-unquote the NWA system.
Okay.
And I'm not going to knock how that works. But for right now, the NWA, which has lost so much steam, it still has that history tied to it, of course. Their current heavyweight champion, who I believe is still Rob Conway.
I believe so.
Not a lot of the NWA affiliates are using their world heavyweight champion. They all have their own separate champion.
Right.
AWF similarly, a lot of promotions are under the AWF banner. All of them have their own champion, but the AWF world heavyweight champion is actually traveling through these different promotions. You see him going from state to state to state to state, defending that title up against some of the best in the country. And I don't think that should be overlooked. Maybe at the Pro Wrestling Showcase, somebody got a little overzealous about how much they wanted to showcase. But at the same time, AWF really does have a presence throughout the country. And actually, they also have an affiliate up in Canada, which is one of the better promotions in the Toronto area.
Well, like I said, when we had a chance to speak with Matt, he did manage to mention a number of the different promotions that were going to be actually featured on that on the Super Show. And like I said, we saw some great action that day. And if it weren't for the fact, well, time constraints in place, because everybody who was a part of that road trip, we all had different things we had to be at that night. But, and like I said, the original game plan was the show was going to last 4 hours. But what we saw, we enjoyed. What we were able to take in, we had fun with. And it was a great road trip. My hat's off to everybody, not only in the in-ring talent, but the officials at the event, the announce team in place, good friend of ours, good Reverend Dan Wilson, the host of the Midnight Black Mass right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, was one of the announce team. And, I would do it I would sit back and say a 2-day event would be a beautiful thing. That way you can showcase everybody and not have to sit back and go, we're going to be here for 8 hours, 9 hours, 7 hours, 12 hours. I would have personally next time I would drop the concept of making, or I would drop in the concept of making it a 2-day event, because you're going to have wrestling fans who genuinely want to see all this talent, and spreading it out over 2 days, easily done.
Mm-hmm.
Because dude, that card was loaded, and I mean some really good talent, including a good friend of ours here on the show. Close friend of a lot of ours here, Mr. 256, the Alabama ambassador, Jacoby Boykins. We're looking forward to getting back here in Alabama sometime very soon.
Huh.
If you
I've yet to actually meet him. I've heard of him, but I've yet to meet him.
Tremendous individual, great in-ring talent. Definitely check him out when you get a chance to.
Absolutely.
And and this is something you and I can definitely still continue to agree on. You know, you've made a reference. We've talked about WSU. We've talked about Infinity Pro. We've talked about Combat Zone. We've talked about Rockstar and a number of the different promotions. A couple of the promotions under the banner of the AIWF. And I've said this for the longest time. I understand that there are people who are WWE fans. I understand that there are pro wrestling fans who don't feel that they have an opportunity to catch good shows in their area. And a lot of people, it's just for the factor of not knowing. And his telephone's doing it again. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and carry us out real quick. Actually, tell you what, give me 1 second. I'm going to run 2 quick promos for the Midnight Black Mass and BR Live. I'm going to get him back one more quick time. Hang tight right here on Back to Basics.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. And we are back one more time. You got it? Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics Sunday night. Fast Eddie Layne, the Phenom Phil Stamper, hanging out with you on this Tuesday thing. BR Back to Basics. I said I'm so used to doing the Sunday show and we skipped it this week. I'm sorry for that. But something I was going to make a reference to that you and I can easily agree on. Pro wrestling fans need that escape to get away from the television set. Sometimes even get away from the computer. And I know that you post it on your sites, but are there any other sites that you post the calendar of the upcoming events?
I do post it on. Well, see, the one thing is, with all the releases I do for whatever company, and especially when I do the independent calendar, it's up to the different sites to post it and when they post it. So I get sometimes email from people saying, I haven't seen it yet, where I know it's already posted on another site. So, for example, pwmania.com, so think Pro Wrestling Mania, pwmania.com, they have it in their indie news section. Also, cheapheat.com, it's cheap-heat.com, they also have it up. So it does vary a little bit from day to day. Normally, Gerwick.com will post it up. It is an indie calendar. It's a great opportunity to see what's going on in your area. And I'll be honest, years and years and years ago, at the dawn of the internet, I used to keep a calendar like this together and then stop for a long time. And about a year or so ago, somebody said to me, there's never any indie wrestling events anymore. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I just started it again using what people were posting on Facebook alone, and it has exploded exponentially from there.
Yeah.
So check it out. If you have an event that you want to plug, that you want to make sure is on the calendar, send me a message. And really, there's only 2 promotions I won't ever post anything about. But other than that, you're good. Send it to me.
I just want to make sure you got Global Championship Wrestling set for Saturday, February the 28th in Pell City, Alabama, right?
Yes, I do.
Yay! Back behind the mic.
Now, you said Pell City, correct?
Pell, Pell City, not Smell City.
Yes.
I've used that one before. Look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and I normally don't say it during interviews. Heel by birth, babyface by casting. Or by lack of creative. But, I'm kidding. I'm gonna burn for that one. Now, real quick.
I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm like, should I laugh now?
Yeah, you're sitting back and he's actually going, there's a payoff on this. I know Eddie too well. There's a payoff on this somewhere. But
great.
Now, for everybody who wants to try to keep in touch with you directly, also to find out about your upcoming personal appearances, how can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PS Phenom. That's PSPHPNOM. Oh my gosh, did I misspell my own name? PSPHENOM. I think I said D. I can't believe I did that.
You did.
At PS Phenom, PSPHENOM. Same name on Instagram, PSPHENOM. And then also on Facebook, I'm Philip Stamper. Just, I don't have anything fun and fancy there. It's P. Stamper on Facebook. So Twitter's probably the better way to find me.
Brother, it is always a pleasure to have you on board. Greatly appreciated. And you know, the door's always open. If you've got something you want to make sure that everybody knows about, if you've got upcoming appearances you want to get the word out about, all you got to do, drop me a line. Come on in.
I appreciate it. Will do, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, good friend of the family. And if he's not careful, he may end up over here a little bit more often than he thinks. That's a hint. The Phenom Phil Stamper, right here on Back to Basics. Hang with us.
I'm confused. I'm so confused.
Thank you, John Travolta. And we'll be back right after this.
And this is Kenny Kip Kennedy, master of Kenny's Kempo Karate.
Hier spricht Tassilo Jung von Western Extreme Wrestling.
This is the Dark Child, Chance Crawford, NWA National Heavyweight Champion.
This is the Temptation, Sean Tempers.
This is Jacoby Boykins, a.k.a. the Alabama Ambassador, Mr. 256.
This is the Bee's Knees, the Casper Pajamas, and the whole shebang. Johnny Gargano.
This is Bill Darrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside. And you are a better person for it. Trust me.
Let's do this thing. Welcome back in. Back to Basics. One more round. So much going on. First off, thank you to Mark MaBo Bowman for coming on board this evening. Greatly appreciative. For everybody who missed us on Sunday, there is a reason why we did not do a show Sunday night. And that would be basically because I had a paying job come in. I'm sorry. For those who don't know, you heard the commercial a little bit earlier in the show. I am one of 2 people who runs Full Range Entertainment here in our home market of Birmingham, Alabama. Well, it is full range. We do everything from DJ work for wedding receptions, birthday parties, corporate events, school dances. Also do karaoke parties. We do charity events. We offer DJ. We offer catering, floral. We have a great network as far as photographers and videographers go. Check out the website, fullrangeentertainment.com. There's that shameless plug right there. And really, dead serious. But I get phone calls every once in a while for events on Sunday, which are normally a rarity, which is one of the reasons why BR Live is normally a safe bet to go live on Sunday evening, unless, of course, the internet manages to totally screw things up. Want to say a very special thank you to Doug and Joy for bringing me on board this past Sunday. Greatly appreciated, and I'm looking forward to working with them twice, actually, in the month of March. So we're going to be catching everything on a as best as possible basis for BR Live. The calendar, we're getting everything back in full swing. Back to Basics is back full scale on Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 Mountain. I'll get all 4 time zones for a change. The To Be Determined show, Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Central. Cause and Effect, Thursday Night Radio Throwdown, Thursdays, 7 o'clock Central p.m. Saturday Showcase, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. This week, we may be on hiatus because yours truly, along with the Hitman Ryan Adcock, we are headed toward Atlanta for the Ring of Honor show, the Winter Warriors Tour, and looking forward to hanging out in Norcross. Smark Rage from Wrestle Rage with Smark Rage and Stan. We'll be there along for the ride with us. Just kick back, ready to have a little bit of fun with the stars of Ring of Honor. And like I said, looking forward to some great action. It's going to be a great card, great lineup. Matter of fact, some of the things that have already been signed to take place this coming Saturday at the show in Norcross, Georgia. 2 out of 3 falls. Tag Team Armageddon match. The Briscoes versus the Kingdom. Bennett Taven representing the Kingdom on that one. Maria Kanellis already slated to appear, which could conceivably mean that ODB might just be there. But I also know that ODB is supposed to have a booking at UIW in a city not too far from there, so you may see her in 2 places in one night. First-time singles encounter. The phenomenal AJ Styles taking on one half of the ROH World Tag Team Champions, Bobby Fish. Delirious takes on Reborn Matt Sydal. Roderick Strong taking on Kyle O'Reilly. Also slated to be, also Moose takes on ACH. That should be a solid matchup. Also signed to appear, Jay Lethal with Truth Martini. Of course, Mark Briscoe is going to be there. I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that part. Yeah, you're going to have the Briscoes in a Tag Team Armageddon match, but you've also got him scheduled to appear. Along with Unbreakable Michael Elgin and more. Apparently there is going to be a video on demand available, which I'll tell you the truth. If you're in and around the Atlanta metropolitan area, get your butt there. It is going to be at the North Atlanta Trade Center, 1700 Juergens Court, Jeurgens, in Norcross, Georgia, 30093. You can still get the tickets through ROHWrestling.com. There'll be a will call situation in place. Or go ahead and get general admission seats when you get to the venue. I mean, it is going to be a great place to hold a pro wrestling show. And like I said, Ring of Honor fans, pro wrestling fans, this is going to be a night that you're genuinely going to enjoy. And don't forget, we're only a couple of weeks away on this one. And that is, speaking of anniversaries, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, Ring of Honor's 13th anniversary, winner takes all. This is going to be from the Orleans Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. This is going to be available live on pay-per-view from Las Vegas, Nevada. Already scheduled to appear, Jay Briscoe, Jay Lethal, Red Dragon, Maria Kanellis, Young Bucks, Alberto El Patron, AJ Styles, and many, many more. The main event, 4-corner survival match for the ROH World Championship. Jay Briscoe, Michael Elgin, Tommaso Ciampa, Warbeard Hansen. You have got 4 unique styles in that match, and that is going to be an absolute don't blink fest. I guarantee you that. We're going to be covering it a little bit more in depth. Keep your eyes open on ROHWrestling.com for all upcoming information, for late breaking information. And as we get it here on the Beyond Ringside branded products, I'm definitely going to be trying to keep on top of everything. Thank you to the rep from Ring of Honor who runs their Twitter account for giving me the information as quickly as they did, confirming the fact that this will be available on a traditional pay-per-view basis as well as iPay-per-view. March 1st, 2015, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Guarantee you, it's going to be one to watch. Don't blink. Also, you heard a lot about the upcoming Chikara tournament. Mark MaBo had a chance to give us a lot of the information, especially about the teams that have been drawn. Thank you to Phil Stamper for giving us all the information about Combat Zone Wrestling, WSU, Infinity Pro, Rockstar, and a couple of other different promotions. And of course, we're going to do our best to try to keep you up to date about upcoming shows in and around the area. You heard me in the earlier segment of the first segment of today's show, and I didn't get a chance to cover many more of them. But this coming Friday, you heard, actually, Full Impact Pro is going to be in Ybor City, Florida at the Orpheum, 1915 East 7th Avenue, 9 p.m. start time. Revolutionary Championship Wrestling at the Battelle Center, 904 North Main Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, 7 p.m. bell time. Fighting Spirit Wrestling at the Ludus Wrestling Center, 133 29th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 8 p.m. local time. And that's just Friday. And that's not all the events that I've got. Definitely. We're gonna, as soon as things get back in place and I have a little bit more time to devote. You heard the email address to send show information. Well, I'm going to add our information to that as well. BeyondRingside@gmail.com. Because I'm going to do everything I can to work with Phil to help him keep abreast of a lot of the upcoming events. I'm going to do what I can on my side of the board to try to help make sure that that companies get their mention. We're going to bring back a calendar segment here on Back to Basics. It'll probably be during the first segment of the program. Also, I'm going to lay this one out. Friends and family. Birthdays, let me know. Weddings, anniversaries, let me know. Love to, I like to pass the word along. Also want to say a very special thank you and shameless plug for Jeremy up at Gold's Gym in Pelham, Alabama. Had a great conversation with him last night. May just be heading in that direction. It's about 8 minutes from my front door, and the price almost sounds right. I'm evil in that regard. But let me run down the rest of it real quick. On Sunday nights, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, Beyond Ringside Live. Also, 8 p.m. Central for Wrestle Rage Radio with Mark Rage and Stan. 10 p.m. Central Time for the Midnight Black Mass with the good Reverend Dan Wilson. And currently in rotation right now on BR, the radio station itself, when we turn it back to the network feed. All shows are in place from the last 7 days, with the exception of BR Live, which did not broadcast this week. So, Midnight Black Mass, Wrestle Rage, Cause and Effect. Yes, we got a Cause and Effect replay in there. Woohoo! How you doing, Cause? Thanks for the Cozcast. All shows are in there, like I said, in rotation right now on Beyond Ringside Radio. Thank you to everybody who has been catching the replay side of life, as I like to call it, through iTunes, Podomatic, Spreaker, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. And you can catch recent full episodes of all shows here, when they air, on the Beyond Ringside Radio app, which is available for Amazon, Android, and BlackBerry. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day here at the Broadcast Ranch. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget, live programming resumes Wednesday night, February the 18th. To Be Determined show. The Wicked Nemesis, Clyde Braddock, Steve Styles, Angie Travis, and yours truly this week. Looking forward to having a little bit of fun. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com. And for my friends here in my home market of Birmingham, Alabama, this coming Friday, I hope you'll come join me. Buffalo Wild Wings in Alabaster. Friday night karaoke, weather permitting, kicks off at 9 p.m. local time. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for joining us for the ride. I hope everybody's enjoyed the show. Until next time, for the Phenom Phil Stamper, from Mark MaBo Bowman, I am the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne, saying adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abbassino, au revoir. And until we meet again, aloha means bye-bye. Join us right here as we all go Beyond Ringside. Bye for now.